What is up, everyone? Paul from Timeless Productions here, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys the ultimate in-depth guide to being reborn inside of Outlast Trials. Now, this is the loadout I definitely recommend you guys using, which is, of course, heal. At least get your level up to where the healing is silent, and definitely use for skill 2, invisible. This really helps when you're trying to hide from the enemies inside of this solo trial. Now, for being reborn, all you have to do is a couple of different tasks in a very solo hard trial that you have to complete. Now, all you have to do for your first step for who are you is basically re-put these brand new documents for you going out into the world. So you just have to take it to each wing of the house, one to the right, one to the left. You do have to open up these gates, so make sure you know exactly where the big guys are. Now, the big enemies that are in this can come through very many different ways, especially this first one on the right. If you follow my path exactly, sometimes he'll come through this dark balcony area. Sometimes he'll come directly through the door like you guys just saw there. If he does, there is this dark bathroom for you guys to go ahead and heal in. Now, if the big guys do hit you, they take away 2 bars of health. So if you have the healing, anytime that happens, just go ahead, heal up. And as long as it's silent, you won't be able to be spotted by him while you're healing. Now, all you're going to do is bring your document over to this room on the left side. Now, the dark bathroom right here is the perfect place to hide. He does not check over by the bathtub, as you guys saw me hiding over there. You're just going to go ahead walking in, and the second you get right up to the desk, all you're going to do is press X, and you'll toss the records back on to the desk, and you'll complete one part. Now, all you're going to do is head back to the middle room. Again, make sure you know where the big guy is, just in case, and you have to hold this button for a couple of seconds before the gate opens. Once the gate opens, the gate does stay open for a little bit, so make sure you don't get spotted. The second you get back to the middle room, a second big guy is going to be patrolling the middle area and the left side of the top floor. Now, all you're going to do is hide inside of here, wait for him to pass by. He usually, from what I saw for the 4 times that I've done this, he will patrol directly into this room. As long as you're hiding here, you'll be perfectly fine. Now, if you use the invisible, you can peek out, and he still won't be able to see you. Even if he comes over and opens up the door, he won't be able to see you. It is a perfect skill to use, especially on a solo trial. Once he goes into the room that he just went into, he does do a full loop around, so you can go ahead, grab your next set of documents, open up the gate. Now, this door right here, he will come walking through. As long as you move fast enough, he shouldn't see you at all. As you guys can see right there, he saw me. I closed the door on him. Just go ahead and run. Now, with the invisible on, again, if you can hide inside of that trash can right there, or you can run over here behind this wardrobe like I usually do, and just duck behind. You should be able to lose him fast enough by then to where you don't have to worry about him finding you there. Go ahead, place your second set of documents on this table, and you now have to head back to the middle room. You will get this new task called Hear the Words, See the Words. This all happens downstairs. Now, if the guy starts to patrol this hallway, this square hallway that you're in, again, hide inside of the trash can if he finds you. Just make sure that you're watching his patrol path, because he will check the middle area, and all the gates are open now. So if either one of the big guys finds you, you can be chased all over the top floor. So once you head back to the right side that we first started at, you're going to head down the stairs, which are now opened. Once you get down the stairs, again, that big guy can look down the stairs. The one on the right side can find you. So just try to make sure that you're moving as fast as possible. Don't run to alert him. If you can, just crawl or walk slowly. Now, you will have to find 2 sets of keys here. Make sure you're looking at the TV screen. You don't get a clue whatsoever, so make sure that you remember them and memorize what keys you need. You're going to go ahead and head out here. Now, there is this camera watching you with this light. If this camera spots you, the gate here will close, and you have to basically hide and get out of the path of it in order for you to get back up here. That's not really too necessary. Of course, unless you're heading back up in order for you to actually leave and head back into the main corridor that we just were at with the keys. All you're going to do is head out here. There's going to be bodies with, of course, the symbols on them. Once again, just go ahead, remember what symbol that you need and what key you need. Check the corpse like you guys did inside of Kill the Snitch at the very beginning of the program. And it's pretty easy. You only need 2 keys. Just make sure that you grab both of them. Don't grab one of them and head back. Grab both of them. Now, there is a guy with the x-ray vision out there as well, so just try to avoid him as much as possible. Use glass bottles, use bricks to distract him and lead him to other sides of the courtyard while you're grabbing these keys out. Now, we're going to head right underneath the right side where the stairs were. We're going to head past the stairs into this area to start it off. Now, sometimes the enemy will path out this door and will spot you. If they do, just run into this room that I run into and hide inside of this wardrobe. The enemy usually won't even enter this room. They'll walk past towards the door that we need to exit out of later on and walk back. Now, once you're inside of this room, it is very dark. It is very hard to be spotted inside of this room until we get into the next room. Now, this character or this enemy will path completely around the entire downstairs area on the right side. So make sure that you're watching out for when that enemy comes and where that enemy is going. You're going to have to set the frequency of the first one. It always spawns in this room from what I see, so it will always be right here. Now, there is lights, of course, so it's going to be a little bit harder for you to avoid an enemy. But once you get the frequency done, just hide behind this middle pieces of like clothing or chairs or whatever it might be, and you can look through the hole here and see when the door opens. Now, if the enemy does come around and you do make noise and they end up going around in a circle like this, just follow this and hug it as close as possible, waiting for the enemy to go back towards that room or head back into the dark hallway. Now, for me, as you guys saw, the enemy went inside this room. All we're going to do is basically follow the enemy. Just make sure that you're listening to when doors are opening and how far the voice of the enemy is as they're moving away from you. Or if it gets closer, so you know whether to hide or what you have to do. Now, once you get here, you have to find a film reel. The film reel can spawn right here on this table to our left side of this door. Can spawn back inside of that room that we were just in. The film reel can also spawn on both of these 2 benches here. So make sure that you're checking out. From what I saw as well from the times that I've done this, it can only spawn on this right side with this enemy. So as long as you're checking the areas around here, the film reel should be on this side at least. I haven't seen it spawn on the other side at all. That's where we actually have to take it. As far as I know, it can only spawn in this area. So make sure that you're checking these benches, that table that I showed you guys, the room that we went into following the enemy. For me, as you guys saw, I did find the film reel right here on the bench. Just go ahead, grab the film reel. Now we have to do another frequency. The frequency can spawn right there on the left. It can spawn in this room all the way in the back. If you follow that way to the right, there is a back like closet area that the frequency can spawn there as well. So make sure that you're definitely watching and checking. There is 3 frequencies again. The first one will always spawn in that first area. The second one will be around the dining room area. Like I said, back in that closet over there where the enemy was just walking towards and is walking away from. So make sure you're checking and making sure that you're finding all 3 of them. The third one is going to be in the opposite side, but the first 2 will always be on this side of the house. Once you go ahead and get the second frequency done, we're going to go ahead and grab the film reel. Now again, make sure you're listening. Wait for the enemy to walk out and keep walking. If the enemy starts to come back, you can hide inside of that closet or refrigerator that I hid in just before, so that you can basically watch the enemy walk past and walk away. Now, we're going to go ahead and head to the left side of the house with the film reel. Make sure that you definitely have the film reel with you. This is very important. Now, the frequency can spawn either on that blue one or that yellow one that I just showed. It can spawn inside of this room. But once you enter into the theater, we have to change out the film reel with another one that's already on there. Once you change this out, though, an enemy will pop out from the door on the right side of the movie screen. All you're going to do is hide inside of this wardrobe. If you have invisible on, you can peek. Like I said, they won't notice you. They won't even be able to see you for some reason. It's a great skill to use during this. The enemy will patrol. Basically, they're alerted. They know that you've been there, and they will go back and forth. So they will enter into the room that we came through. They will enter and check the movie theater, or they will enter back into this right side door that they came from. Now, as soon as they leave, just go ahead and walk into this room. You can go ahead and close the door to make it a little bit easier so you know. Now, the frequency can spawn either right here on this wall right there as soon as you walk in, or it's going to spawn over here on the right side corner where we just were, that right there by that window. Or the third and final area is going to be out on the balcony. If it's out on the balcony, this is a lot easier to get done. As you guys will see, that's where mine spawned on this playthrough. Now, the enemy can path all the way over here. When or if the enemy does path over here while you're doing the frequency or not, just wait for the enemy to go ahead and turn around. You can use where the mannequins are, this small corner, to just sit and wait for the enemy to head back. Now, if you have to wait for the enemy to head back, you can look through the mannequin legs and between them in order to see when the enemy's walking back outside into the movie theater. Now, like I said, the third frequency can spawn out here, so make sure you go ahead and get this third and final frequency done as fast as possible. And once you do that, you will get a new task called Rebirth. You know you've done it correct when the new task pops up saying Rebirth and you've done all the frequencies right. All you're going to do is head back to the main corridor where we put the keys in to open up the gates. And we're going to head to our left coming from here, and the front door will be open, the door that we walked in through in the very beginning in the intro of the game. Now, all you're going to do is sprint. You cannot be basically seen or attacked by enemies right here. Make sure, though, that you have full health. This is why you have the healing as well. Make sure that you are full 4 barred up, 5 barred up, whatever health you may have. Now, the issue with it is the second we drop down here, an enemy is going to spawn right over here to our right. Sometimes this enemy can hit you, depending. They will be boss enemies, so it might take 2 bars of health if you do get hit. This is why you want to be fully healed when you drop down. Just go ahead, sprint the way I sprint, and once you bust out this door, you are completely done with the solo trial. You have been officially reborn, and we'll see one of the 3 endings that are inside of the game currently. All you have to do once you come out of the water is walk with your character towards the light. You can run, of course, so make sure that you go ahead and run towards the light, and the second you get close enough to the light, the ending will begin and you are officially done being reborn. Very simple, very easy, and the trial is a little bit harder than most. Of course, it's just you by yourself, as most of these trials can be done, or all of them can be done, complete co-op. Now, I got the second ending here. This was the second time I was reborn, so that's one of the endings that can happen. I will leave the first ending and the third ending at the end of this video. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content. If this helped you guys be reborn instead of Outlast Trials, let me know down in the comment section below. You will also get, of course, the intro rerun really fast forwarded, and it will go through. You'll have a proxy reagent. Basically, with the proxy reagent, you lose no abilities. You lose no stats, progression, anything. The only thing that you have to really do is create a whole new character, you know, customization wise. Other than that, though, and you also get certain outfits for being reborn as well, depending on how many times you've been reborn. But with that being said, hopefully this helps you guys. Hopefully you guys can go ahead and be reborn and get through it very simple, very fast with the help of this guide. So we'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye, and remember to stay timeless, and remember to stay until the end to see the other 2 endings of Outlast Trials that are currently in the game right now.
Been in that cell for weeks.
We had to allow for altitude adjustment. Wernicke's proposal requires a robust immune system.
Good luck, then. There's almost as much tumor in this scan as gray matter.
I guess if it's a lethal experiment, we might as well use somebody who's as good as dead.
If we only wanted to dispose of a corpse, we wouldn't have made the trip to Colorado. What you're calling tumors, maybe is the fingerprints of a god.
What's that supposed to mean?
What happens when somebody gets touched by a god? Usually they are smoked. But sometimes, and very rarely, they're dead.
Spider Eye.